And here they come.
Here we go.
Loading into the capsule.
And the significance here of the bell, and I should note before I have you that each crew names themselves. They have named themselves these 6 taking up space as each one is ringing a bell. And the significance of that is what, Ariane?
This is one of our traditions. All astronauts throughout history in various programs have had their traditions. For us, we always want our astronauts to ring the bell and hear the...
Now, why would y'all send my girl Gayle King on that spaceship like that? My girl was nervous and trembling, smoking cigarettes that night, cause she ain't know what was gonna come next after getting on that spacecraft. We was expecting my girl to give little Einstein vibes, okay? Going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky, little Einstein. But instead, my girl was giving the vibes to somebody who was there just so they wouldn't get fined.
I'm here so I won't get fined.
And honestly, I don't blame her. I would have been terrified too, cause what you mean Jeff Bezos is sending me to space? What do he know about going to space? He's used to shipping packages, and now you shipping people? What's going on? Is this the new age trafficking? Y'all are doing intergalactic trafficking, and you got my girls nervous and trembling.
Oh no, girl!
And another thing, why wasn't it advertised that whole ride was only gonna be 30 seconds? I'm thinking it's gonna be this big thing, as much promo we'd have seen about the stuff, and they're gone for 30 seconds? Do you know that they was back on the ground before I even got finished watching the launch video? I couldn't even finish reading the comments before the next video dropped and they back on the ground kissing me. What is going on?
What is going on?
Now, I don't know too much about space travel, but I do know that it's not cheap. And my thing is, with everything crashing down around here, the economy and the stocks is dropping like flies, and y'all are spending billions to send folks up to space for 30 seconds. Where's Doge? That sounds like government waste and fraud to me.
Okay, I like that.
Now, I don't know what's what, but it is giving CGI just a little bit. And with as much misinformation that's coming out of this administration, I don't know what to trust.
Look good here, look good here.
I will say this. If everything is everything and it all checks out, I think that was a great opportunity for those women and just for the whole space community in general. However, if everything ain't everything, stop playing with us. What's going on? Are y'all setting up folks to be trafficked intergalactically? Are y'all setting up folks to be slaves on Mars? Like, I don't know what's happening, and I really can't trust too much that's going on, so I'ma just wait and see. But as for now, I'ma be like Gayle King, suspicious. Speaking of misinformation, why is nobody checking these folks when they blatantly lie about the case with Kilmar Garcia?
The Democrats and the media in this room have continually and wrongly labeled Kilmar Abrego Garcia as a Maryland father. There is no Maryland father. Let me reiterate, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is an illegal alien, MS-13 gang member, and foreign terrorist.
The Supreme Court unanimously decided 9-0 that the United States government needs to facilitate his transition back to America. But when you hear anybody from the Trump administration talk about what the Supreme Court said, they always say that they decided 9-0 in our favor, that we don't have to do anything. Why are y'all lying? Why do y'all think we don't know what's going on? We literally can read the documents with our own eyes. The Supreme Court said that y'all need to facilitate the transition back to America. But for some reason, they're telling us that they don't have to do that because that's not what the Supreme Court said. Huh? Girl, like, why are y'all lying? And then holding press conferences in the Oval Office, you got Stephen Miller looking like an ant up there talking nonsense, literally just spitting lies out of his mouth, and folks are just nodding along. And then you got the president from El Salvador saying that he can't do nothing either. All these folks are white supremacists, and I just don't understand what is it gonna take for people to wake up and see what's happening around here. You have senators literally going on record saying that they're terrified to speak up because they're scared of retaliation. What you mean you scared of retaliation? You need a new job. If you can't stick up for the right folks and stick up for what's right in this country, you don't need to be no senator. You don't need to be representing nobody. You don't need to be scared of nothing. Retaliation for what? And if they even do retaliate, you need to figure out what's next. That's your job. You're getting paid for that.
Little girl.
This man was here legally. They snatched him up, shipped him somewhere, and now they saying they can't bring him back. And then you got the press secretary looking like Miss Piggy, talking about that he'll never be a U.S. citizen again. Why Why are you a U.S. citizen? What do you give to the country besides lies and violence? What is going on?
Girl, what's going on?
And no shade to Miss Piggy, because we love her. But Kristen Levy, you need to watch your mouth. And I don't even know if I'm saying your name right, and I never will even try to attempt to say your name correctly, because I don't care. You're a danger to society. You and that protruding forehead needs to go somewhere, because y'all don't do nothing but confuse the folks. And you're rude and nasty.
So nasty and so rude.
Anybody who is not upset with this whole situation is very interesting to me, because what you don't realize is that this is a litmus test for them to see how far they can go. If they get away with kidnapping folks who were here legally and just shipping them off somewhere, what do you think is stopping them from doing the same thing to U.S. citizens? Trump even said that he's gonna start doing it to U.S. citizens. Y'all have to wake up and realize when they try to frame this stuff as like, oh, we're gonna choose the bad, evil criminals who are here doing all of these things. You don't know, but what they're saying is they're getting rid of anybody who they don't like. When they say they're getting rid of the evil folks and the bad, evil criminals, who do you think they're talking about? They're not even checking criminal records. They're picking you up based on the type of hat you wear. They're picking you up based on the tattoos you got. When Pete Hegseth is literally riddled with white supremacy tattoos.
Like I'm fed the fuck up, like literally.
When are y'all gonna wake up and realize this stuff is going down? Ain't no games around here.
You Negroes need to get your act together.
I said it before, but I'll say it again. Y'all have to pay attention to how politicians parse these words together. You have to be able to really think for yourself and really critically analyze, like, what does this mean? When you hear somebody like Trump or just even folks within his administration say these things, say these words, you have to couple it with what you already know about them versus what they have already done to see who are they talking about? What do they mean when they say these things? When they say violent, evil criminals, they don't mean actual violent, evil criminals, because if that's the case, the whole cabinet would be gone over to El Salvador. They're not worried about violent, evil criminals. They're worried about folks who are going up against them. Those are violent, evil criminals to them. Not what you define as violent, evil criminals. Wake up!
Right now!
Now, thankfully, we do have some representatives who ain't scary. One of them went over there to El Salvador to figure out what was going on, and come to find out, Trump been paying them to keep Kilmar Garcia over there. They're lying to our faces and doing back-end deals, and y'all is just going along with it. I don't know. I don't know what needs to happen. Maybe your cousins got to get snatched up. Maybe people from your block got to get kidnapped and shipped off somewhere. Maybe something got to happen to your family for you to realize, wait a minute, this ain't right. But y'all need to really get serious. You're next. You're gonna be next. What's stopping you from being next? Get serious.
You need to cut the you really do.
At this point, everybody around the world has learned that Karmelo Anthony has made bail and he's out of jail.
Wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser, and the co-founder has stated that clearly. In reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds, and it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Of course, the you-know-whos are not happy about that. And what's so interesting is that black folks have this persona of being seen as sensitive and like overly triggered. But the gag is, white supremacists are some of the most sensitive and most easily triggered folks in the world.
You are absolutely right.
Like, they literally cry about every single thing, and then on top of that, they take that crying a step further and then create laws and systems to literally oppress people.
Bro, y'all niggas sick as fuck, and that's exactly why I attack y'all niggas like that.
That is so weak to me. Like, that is what punks do. Like, you don't want a level playing field that bad that you create systems to stop folks from doing the things that you do and flaunt in our faces. Why can't Karmelo Anthony have a GoFundMe account? But y'all was raising money for Dylan Roof. Y'all was raising money for Kyle Rittenhouse. Y'all was raising money for George Zimmerman. Y'all was raising money for Derek Chauvin. Like, what's going on? How come we can't raise money for Karmelo Anthony? But y'all was able to raise money for literally identified white supremacists who literally have motives of racial injustice. And you feel so validated within that you raise millions of dollars for them, but get mad at us for raising money for somebody who we believe was in self-defense.
Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fucking shit.
And what's so crazy is George Zimmerman is not even white.
Wait!
And y'all was raising money for him. Huh? But I guess because he killed a black person, that just made up for it.
Girl.
You that sensitive that you gotta make up lies about folks?
It was all a lie.
They're upset because the judge that lowered the bail is a black woman. Little did they know she's a Republican. But you'll never know it because based on Twitter, you would think that she was a liberal. They keep saying liberal judge, rogue judge. That woman is a Republican. The thing that y'all don't realize though is that Republican is not supposed to be synonymous with MAGA, even though we probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference these days. But that's how it's supposed to be. Just because you're a Republican doesn't mean that you have to be racist. Doesn't mean that you have to be a white supremacist. Doesn't mean that you have to be a Trump supporter. Doesn't mean that you have to be MAGA. It just means that you have conservative values. Whatever that means, whatever that might look like, does not have to be as racist as y'all have made it to become. Like, that's just so interesting to me. And then on top of that, they done took it a step further once they found out that Karmelo Anthony's family isn't poor, how they probably thought that all black families are. They were so shocked to know that they got this nice car, they got this nice house in a place where they think that black folks shouldn't be. So you know what they did? They done spun a narrative to make it seem like they've been using the money that was raised to buy all of these things. Are y'all stupid? The boy just got out of jail 3 days ago. Y'all saying that the family done bought an Escalade and $1 million house in 3 days? Who closes on a house in 3 days? Especially a black person. Who does that? None of us. None of us. And y'all is just spouting those lies just out and proud, out and about, like that's even okay. If you think that a black family could close on $1 million house in the same country where black people have to take down the pictures of their black relatives to even get their home appraised, you're crazy. Your brain is fried. You don't understand how nothing works. And if that's the case, I got a beach house on Bilal to sell to you since you just believe in anything.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Now, what I do love is the black solidarity that I've been seeing in this moment. Granted, I don't believe that his actions are good or right? But what I do believe is that everybody has the right to due process. Regardless of what you think about the situation, he still deserves a fair shot in court to really see what's gonna happen because of his actions. But y'all don't even want him to have due process. Y'all just want him to go straight to jail for life. And for what?
I don't understand that. I really just can't comprehend it.
You don't even know what has happened yet.
You can get the fuck up out of here with that bullshit.
Is it right to stab somebody just because they touch you? I don't know. But I also don't know if it's right to try to forcibly move somebody out of a spot just because you don't want them there. So regardless of what we think has happened, we still need to see how the court decides what's gonna happen. And he still deserves the best shot at that. And if raising money for him is the way to go about making sure that that happens, that's what we're gonna do.
Get the fuck on and move around, ho.
And my thing is, the owner of Give, Send, Go has already stated that none of the money has even been withdrawn yet. Y'all can't even fathom that black folks got money of their own to even buy the things that they have, and that's the problem. It's 2025. You think that all black folks is poor? You think that black folks can't buy a car? You think black folks can't get a house? What's the problem? Are you mad that they got a car in the house that you can't get? What does that have to do with them versus what that means about you?
Now check that.
Another thing that's so interesting is for white supremacists to hate black folks as much as they do, y'all sure do use the things that we create. Why do we see posts talking about white lives matter, say his name? Where did you even even get those phrases from? From the lived experiences of oppressed black people. Why are you co-opting our phrases? You couldn't come up with your own stuff? Personally, I think all lives matter.
Girl.
What happened to all lives matter? Why can't you just post that? Because yes, all lives do matter. Who said white lives don't matter? Nobody ever said that. This is a singular instance. Throughout history, white lives have always mattered more than other lives. So to use the phrase white lives matter is ahistorical. When have you ever felt like they didn't matter? Even in this moment, white lives are still at the forefront of everything.
Who is having that conversation?
At the end of the day, if you're upset about Karmelo Anthony getting out of jail and being able to raise money for his legal defense fund, but you weren't upset about Kyle Rittenhouse, Dylan Roof, George Zimmerman, Derek Chauvin, then you're a racist. You're a white supremacist, because everybody should be able to have access to get what they need in order to have a fair trial. Not just white folks or not just people who kill somebody black.
And don't fight me, because I know how you girls like to tussle.
What I will say, shout out to the black community for how y'all have coalesced and came around this issue. Keep raising money, keep doing the work, and realize that we all we got.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
I love us for real. Toodles.
Pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon me.